Alright, I am ready to film. I am just gonna get in front of the camera. Hello. It feels so weird not having my face in the video, but hello my friends, it's Nina, and today we are going straight into a drawing with Nina. Oh, you can't even see my hand. Anyway, hello. In my last video, I said that I would show a more in-depth video about how I make my webtoon, so now is the time. And if you didn't know I have a webtoon, I mentioned it a couple times by now, but today is the day that I'm going to draw with you and show you my process of how I actually make a webtoon episode. And more specifically, I'm going to show you how I make my webtoon using Clip Studio Paint, who are also kind enough to sponsor this video. I was so excited when they reached out to me because I found Clip Studio Paint by myself and I just fell in love with it. So thank you Clip Studio Paint for partnering with me on this video, and we're just going to get started. So here we have my iPad. It is an iPad Pro. It's a 12.9-inch iPad. This is Clip Studio Paint's X version, so it's literally just an app right here. So with Clip Studio Paint, they do have a month free trial, so you can test it out for yourself, see if you like it, see if it works for you. But then if you sign up with Clip Studio Paint and make an account, you do get 3 months, which is a bit longer to experiment with it. But hopefully if you want to make a comic for yourself or just digital art in general, I definitely recommend testing out Clip Studio Paint and seeing if you like it, because this has changed my life and it literally helped me create a webtoon. So this is the episode that I finished most recently. You also can use Clip Studio Paint not just for comics, but also for just digital art in general. It doesn't have to be such a long canvas like this. You can also have a square canvas, whatever size you prefer. So this is what an entire episode looks like, and it ends right there, and this is where you can actually work on your piece. And then there's a little dot here that just means you haven't saved the page yet, so I'm just going to save it. So this is a page, and one page is 1600 by 17,920 pixels, and my DPI is 350. 300 is a very typical one as well, so I think a good start is 300, 350. So I like to open a new tab in this window, file, new. So here is the window for a new work. So we've got illustration, comic, another comic, another comic, comic, animation. So you can make animations on Clip Studio Paint as well. I am making a simple comic, a very long one. So I already have a custom setting. Clip Studio Paint also has settings here. So the way to explain it is that Webtoon allows you to upload images that are at most 800 by 1280 pixels. So the height of each page is 2560 pixels, and with 15,360 pixels, that adds up to a total of 6 pages, and then 17,920, that's 7. So then we get a good 6 to 7 images per page. This is going to be episode 14. You also have the option to record your time lapse, and let's go. So you've got one singular page. Going to double tap. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to close this window. Now I have all this space. So under story, you can add a page. Now we've got 2 pages. So we've got the little toolbar here. There is the move tool. You can move your canvas around. There is the operation tool, but I like to use it to select certain things. Then we've got the move layer, lasso tool. These are the pen tools. I didn't want to be too complicated about my webtoon, so I just used the G pen for all of my line art. And then next to it, we've got the pencil sub tool. This is where a lot of my custom brushes are. And by custom brushes, they're not mine. I just found them on Clip Studio Paint's assets. And then here is the airbrush section. There is a sub tool for decoration. I love this section. You can really have fun with whatever brushes there are. So we've got the effects section. It has all these cute little effects. This is the heart brush. Here's the sparkle brush. We've got flowers here. Something that I love to use is this cherry blossom brush. You can make necklaces or whatever accessories. You even got a zipper lace. Look at that lace. Vegetation. There's a tree brush. You can add a tree there. There's a green tree. There are all sorts of erasers. Next, we have a blending brush, and then this is the fill tool. And then we've got the gradient section. If I want like a nice sky, we've got a sky gradient. If we go to advanced settings, there are multiple options for skies. And then we've got some shapes. And then here, this is where you make your panels. I have my panel border set at 7 for the size. Let's say we want to make it this big. So everything is within the inside of this box. You can make a rough sketch inside. Line art size of 5. You can change the opacity so that it's less visible. A new layer, and make line art. This is very rough. And then under that we have the ruler tool. We've got a bunch of different rulers. I love the perspective ruler, the symmetrical ruler, such as if I do it right here. This is the symmetrical tool. Anything that I draw here is also reflected there. So we've got a face. And then perspective ruler, basically just make a vanishing point, and you have a perspective ruler. With the perspective ruler, once you make your vanishing point, you can make things have a perspective. It just follows the ruler only. You can also make more vanishing points. Maybe you're making a 2-point perspective, 3-point. It's all there for you. And then under the ruler section, we have the text section. You can add text to your work. And the font that I use is CC Joe Kubert, and I just play around with the fonts as well. And then under text, we have the balloon section. You can add speech bubbles, and there's a balloon tail option. And within that, if you just tap on text, you can make whatever text. There's also flash options. If a character is yelling something, for example, I like to use the flash, and here are my settings. We can make a character yell. Ah, they're screaming. And I guess now we're just going to actually get started. All right, hi, hello. It is a new day. I had to make sure the script was all complete for this episode, but we're going to get started. Something I also want to mention is that with Clip Studio Paint, you do get to have this sort of view. This is about the size of a phone screen. This is not in the screen yet, so you can kind of plan how big you want your panels to be. This helps to control your pacing and get an idea of what it's going to actually look like. So I have my script right on my phone. This might go through changes as I go, but as you can see, the title is Final Draft. I go through a few drafts to finally get the final one. So right now I'm just doing a quick storyboard sketch so that I can get an idea of what the panels are going to look like. This usually takes only a day for me to do, and I like to make a folder and I call it sketch. And to get this phone screen size, I think it's view, on-screen area, Webtoon, and then you can also take care of the settings. I have it at a 1:2 height, and that has worked for me. So I think I want Jian to be facing away from the camera. I just go with my pencil. So I'm just making a rough little drawing of her, and then her jacket kind of fell off of her shoulder. So just a quick little layout like that. Trees, trees, trees. Let's make this a nice blue color. And since this entire folder is for sketches, if I make line art in the future, all I have to do is lower the opacity, and then I can make a line art folder right on top, and then I can go in with line art. Another thing about Clip Studio Paint is that you can use 3D materials, but sometimes if I need to work faster, I will use a 3D model. Under window and material, there's the 3D folder, and then you get all these options, and then a bunch of these I downloaded. All you have to do is drag and place it, and here's your 3D model. You can move the arms, turn the character around. So if I want to draw Jian, I just gotta turn her around, and then you can use this just like that. But something that I like to do is take screenshots of old panels and kind of use them to trace. For example, if I want to work on this panel and if I want to make line art and I know that she's facing away, I will actually go to my photo library and I will look for a picture where Jian is turned around and I can actually use it. So yes, I do quite a bit of tracing of old panels just to get things done faster. But because she is facing down, I do have to make some changes. I need her to face down, and when she's facing down, the cap is not going to face like that. It's gonna kind of curve up like this. So if she's crouched down a little bit, her shoulders are gonna be a little closer to her head. Jacket can kind of be similar, and then her tote bag kind of fell off of her shoulder a little bit, and we can make that disappear. There we go. I'm going to continue her thoughts, so maybe add a bubble right here, size it out. And this is a great way to cover up some of your image so that you don't have to draw every single thing. Now she's gonna face to the side. It's kind of looking a little sad, and she's looking down. And then now that I think about it, I think the first thing I want the viewer to see is her, not this text. So I'm going to move this and move this down too. I think I like it better here where she's thinking, just like that. And then you can also select multiple layers with this little check mark over here. Selecting multiple, and I'm gonna bring it down quite a bit. Did I really miss him? It's gonna go right around here maybe. Something else I'll add, a little sweat mark, just to help show that she is a little nervous. Sometimes you have to make it obvious to the reader what's happening there, so as they're scrolling, they can see that there's kind of something about to appear. To this layer, I'm gonna add these little bubbles, and to that layer I can add another thought a little bit below, just like that. And then right around here I'm gonna add another panel to show that it keeps going on right here. So I'm gonna add a large frame and kind of drag it around here. And then I'm gonna make this all the way at the bottom. There we go. There's this gradient, the foreground to transparent. I like to add this. I think I'll go with a pink color. So maybe here. So it kind of slowly fades into this pink. I'm gonna add some people here. And then above this, I want a thought bubble. So I guess this is kind of spoilers. Gonna just draw some old friends. I think I'll actually make them full size. Now I'm moving on to the second page. With this panel, I can actually import a whole picture. This is a panel from a past episode. Again, work smarter, not harder. And then for this, I'm gonna just add a multiply layer just to darken the image. So I add a layer of color and then I'm gonna add multiply and then adjust it to maybe about 50, adding a text bubble. And then I think this calls for an original panel right about here. And I think I want them to be facing each other from earlier, from a past episode, just a different angle. This will also be a flashback. This is when they were saying goodbye to each other to see each other the next day. So here is what we've got so far. And then I basically just keep doing this until I finish. But I think for now I'm just going to show you how I finish a panel. We can maybe do this one because it shows both my characters. So usually I'll do the entire storyboard sketch before I do anything else, but for this video I wanted to show how one panel is made. And then we're gonna lower the opacity so it's just barely there, going in with line art. So I opened my old episode. It's episode 9/10, and I guess I forgot, but I did make a similar panel to what I'm trying to draw here, except they are their more cute version of themselves. I'm gonna finally draw the original design. I'm gonna take a nice screenshot and then I'm gonna crop it. So as time goes, you have a lot of old panels you can refer to. Oh, I like her expression here. Ooh, I am so tempted to just copy that. Gotta work faster, you know? Realistically, I would take as many shortcuts as possible. I'll screenshot this too, why not? That's all I need from this. I can exit out. I don't need to save anything. I didn't make any changes. Then going back to episode 14. There we go. Let's get started. So basically I pieced a bunch of old pictures and I'm going to make a new line art. And then we've got the stabilization at 66. So this should be pretty smooth. And the point is 5. There's Jihyun. I'm just going to clean her up a little bit. If I just select the line, it'll take me to that layer and all I have to do is work on it. See, so that was the only layer. Gonna move on, select this one. Nice. I like to make my lines very clean and connected so that when I fill with colors, it gets trapped within the black line. And then if you take out the sketch layer, that's what it looks like. And I think here I'll add an old speech bubble. I'm gonna change the fill color to a grayish color to show that it's something from earlier. I think I can even make the text a little smaller since it is from the past. So without the sketch, that's what it'll look like. Now we're working on Chanyoung's line art. He is CY. Let's see. Nice. Gonna clean up Chanyoung as well. So I am now going to make big folders. This is all for Chanyoung. I'm gonna drag the line art folder in here and then make another folder for Jihyun. I'm gonna make a color folder and this will be under the line art. I'm gonna go with skin first. All I do for skin is SK. Here is my coloring process. So first for the panel, I make a layer and I color that with this nice gray color. This helps me to see the colors better. It's a nice neutral background. And for skin, I have the skin color right here. And then with this tool, the fill tool, I choose enclose and fill. So those are my settings. I'm just gonna circle it. It's so fast. I love it. And for eyes, I just call it E and I fill it in and it's white. Then above that, I'm gonna color in the iris and I just call it I and I'm going to fill that in as well. And his hair color is this brown color. Just gonna try to get as much of it as possible. Some of the eye is going to be covered, but I can just fix that. So right here, I am going to erase some stuff. There is a bit of a shortcut with that fill tool and the transparent color. You can erase things and just select it. It's faster than just going in and erasing it yourself. Right about now, I just fill in whatever I can with pen, just the little gaps, the little finer details. And then we're gonna add his shirt, backpack, and then gonna move on to Jian. We're done with flat colors. It only took 10 minutes total. Now we can go with the background. I'm going to add a midday sky gradient. And then I'm going to add some trees to the background. I'm going to add some light pink trees because it is March in the setting and in March trees start to blossom. Okay, good evening. So nighttime has fallen. I took a little break, gonna finish up this panel. So I have some trees there, but I'm gonna put these trees inside of its own folder and I'm going to make another layer, then clip that on. I've got the tree here and I'm going to go with a darker pink and then I'm gonna add some color. And then one more layer, I'm gonna flip the tree upside down and then I'm gonna add a white layer to make some highlights. Just like that. Oh, that is perfect. And then I will lower the opacity of this as well. Maybe like a 75, that's good. And then there we have a more detailed tree. Gonna do the same thing with this tree here. And then the reason why I made a tree folder is because for this folder, I'm going to put an effect on top of it. There's this little circle image. And with the circle, tap on it and then we're making an edge. If you saw what I did, this adds an edge and we're going to make it black. Kind of gives it that cartoony line art feel. I'm going to make it at a 1. I'm going to duplicate this folder just in case something goes wrong, but I usually just keep one folder hidden, and with the duplicate I'm going to convert that layer into a raster layer, and now that it's rasterized I can Gaussian blur it. So right now it's at a 6. I'm going to make this like a, let's see, 30. I feel like it's too strong. Maybe a 20. I'm gonna make it 25. Now that we've done our trees, right under it, I'm going to add some clouds. I actually do have a cloud brush that I found. This was an asset, 구름 브러쉬, which literally means cloud brush. I can actually show you how I got this. This is a great feature with Clip Studio Paint, is that it has assets. If you go into materials, so under materials, you can search for materials on assets.clipstudio.com. I'm going to sign in. You have access to a huge library of materials. So for instance, if I want to find like a cloud brush, just search it in and you can find whatever cloud brush you need. If you want to draw a cafe, there's all sorts of materials for cafe items. And just look through, and here you can add some filters such as free, and then you have all these options. Got some 3D materials, image materials. So this is a nice thing to have access to, and it's available for Clip Studio Paint. So I'm going to use my cloud brush. It's a nice cloudy, windy day for them. And then we're going to Gaussian blur this too. With the blending options, I'm going to go with Add Glow and this sort of light yellow color and add some glow in certain areas. And then I'm going to add, just for fun, a layer of white, and then we're going to make this a soft light. So over the tree layer, I clipped a layer and I'm going to add some glow. Then let's render our characters. I'm going into the color folder. Everything is nicely organized. I'm going with this color. It's a tannish color. Like a reward, this little dot of light on the eye. I airbrush the lips on with this corally color, looking more and more lifelike. I'm just going to add a dark brown shadow. I'm gonna airbrush it on, and then on top of that I add a light brown, and then I just add a few highlights onto the hair like this. Here is our finished Chanyang. Very simple. Now we're going to move on to Jian. So onto my entire Jihyun folder, I am adding an add glow effect. I'm going to make her glow a little bit. I'm gonna go with a light blue. Add it on. It's very subtle. I'm gonna do the same thing to Chanyoung over here. Add a layer, clip it, add glow, and I'm gonna add some glow to his hair. The sun is right above them since it's noon. There we go. And I think I'm going to add one more add glow and add a yellowish color. Then I'm going to add a multiply layer all over. So without the multiply blending option, this is what it looks like. Multiply. I'll make it a 45. So this is a flashback. This is also a flashback, but a new scene. And this is the panel all complete. And then I would work on the rest of the webtoon. Aren't they cute? Tell me they're cute, please. I'm gonna save it. Here is the final panel. So I showed you how I plan out my webtoon. I was only able to do this much during the time that I filmed, but otherwise I hope that this gave you some insight on how I make a webtoon or a comic on Clip Studio Paint. And I hope that you guys get to try it out too, especially if you're also considering making webtoons or digital art in general. I can even show you a piece that I made for Instagram. This was for Jian's birthday. This is a 2048 by 2048 pixel drawing with 300 DPI. Here is a completed episode. So this is one episode. This is the next episode. This is what it looks like. So a full episode is going to be about, I want to say 6 to 8, maybe 9 pages. And that's about 54 images total. Webtoon allows you to put 100. And to export this, all you would need to do is go to File, Export Webtoon, and then it has all these settings. We're going to export to JPEG. Quality 100's good, and then I'll have a name for it. I will specify the width, which is 800 pixels. So we're going to do all pages, or you can even end it early, like 1 through 6 if you have like 20 pages. And then we're going to divide vertically by 1280. So if I exported 13 pages, that is 87 files, which still fits into Webtoon. And then I would press OK, and then all the exporting happens. A file would be sent to my desktop, and then from there I would upload an episode. Clip Studio Paint is honestly where I do most of my digital art now. It's where I do 100% of my Webtoon, and it's a great system. I highly recommend it, and if you want to try it out for yourself, I will have a link that you can use. You can have a 1-month free trial of Clip Studio Paint, test it out for yourself, and then if you sign up for Clip Studio Paint, you'll get 3 months. But that is all for this draw with me. Thank you again to Clip Studio Paint for partnering with me on this video and for helping me create To Love and Be Loved. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Have a good day or night, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye, my friends.